Yesterday, we talked about something that surprises most people, that earning more money doesn't actually reduce financial stress. That structure is what creates peace, not income. And I asked you a question. Have you ever gotten a raise and still felt financially tight? A lot of you said yes, and that honesty takes courage. Today, I want to go somewhere even more personal. I want to talk about something that every single person watching here has experienced, but very few people have ever stopped to understand. Let me ask you an honest question. Have you ever bought something that you didn't actually need? But in that moment, it felt right to buy it. Maybe it was a pair of shoes, maybe it was a gadget, maybe it was a meal you didn't need at a restaurant you couldn't really afford. And later, maybe an hour later, maybe the next morning, you asked yourself, why did I buy that? That moment of confusion, that gap between the action and the regret, that's what we are unpacking tonight. Because most spending decisions are not financial decisions, they are emotional decisions. And until you understand that, no budget, no app, no spreadsheet will save you. Discipline builds generational strength, but awareness must come before discipline. Let me tell you something that might shift how you see every purchase you ever made. Money itself doesn't create more spending, emotion does. Stress, reward, comparison, validation. These four emotions drive more financial decisions than logic ever will. And they do it silently. You don't feel them happening, you just feel the urge to buy. Think about it. A stressful day at work, your boss said something that frustrated you. You sat in traffic for 45 minutes. You come home exhausted, mentally drained. You sit on the couch, pick up your phone, start scrolling, and then you see it, a new gadget, a flash sale, a vacation ad with a beautiful beach, and suddenly buying something feels like relief. Not because you need that thing, but because the act of buying gives you a feeling of control, a feeling of reward, a tiny moment where something felt good in a day that felt hard. That purchase was never about the product, it was about the emotion underneath the product. The product was just the delivery system. The real thing you were buying was a feeling. And here is why this matters. If you don't recognize the emotion driving the purchase, you will keep buying feelings over and over and over, and your money will keep disappearing. Not because you are irresponsible, because you are human. And nobody taught you to see the pattern. Tonight, I'm going to teach you to see it. There are four emotional spending triggers that affects almost every family. Four patterns. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. And that awareness alone will change how you spend. Trigger number one, stress spending. This is the most common one. You feel overwhelmed, you feel pressure, you feel like everything is too much, and buying something becomes an escape. It's the online shopping at 11 p.m. after a terrible day. It's the impulse purchase at the checkout counter when you are running on empty. It's ordering delivery for the third time in this week because you are too drained to cook. Stress spending gives you relief, but the relief lasts about 15 minutes. And then you have the stress, plus a charge on your account you didn't need. The spending didn't solve the stress, it just gave you a momentary distraction from it. And tomorrow the stress returns. So you spend again. That's a cycle. And cycles are expensive. Now, trigger number two, reward spending. This one sounds positive, and that's what makes it even dangerous. The phrase is, I worked hard, I deserve this. And you know what? You probably did work hard. You probably do deserve good things. But here is the question nobody asks. Does this reward serve your future, or does it only serve this moment? Reward spending is the expensive dinner after closing a deal. It's the shopping spree after a bonus. It's the vacation you put on a credit card because you earned it. Every time income goes up, reward spending says celebrate now. And celebration is fine, but when every achievement gets celebrated with spending, the rewards consume the very income they were meant to celebrate. You worked hard to earn that bonus, and then you spent the bonus on a reward for earning the bonus. The money came and went. Nothing was built, just a memory and a receipt. Trigger number three, comparison spending. This one is brutal, and social media made it 10 times worse. Comparison spending is when you buy something not because you want it, but because someone else has it. Your colleague gets a new car. Suddenly, your car feels old. Your neighbor renovates their kitchen. Suddenly, your kitchen feels outdated. Someone on Instagram posts their vacation. Suddenly, your life feels small. And here is the trap, you're comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel. You don't see their debt, you don't see their stress, you don't see their bank account, you just see the image. And that image makes you feel like you're behind. So you spend not to improve your life, but to close a gap that doesn't actually exist. You're trying to match a standard that the other person probably can't even afford themselves. Comparison is comparison spending is the most expensive form of emotional spending because it has no ceiling. There will always be someone with more, always someone with newer, someone posting something that makes you feel like you need to upgrade. And if you chase that, you will never stop spending and you will never feel enough. Trigger number four, identity spending. This is the deepest one. Identity spending is when you buy things not for function but to signal who you are or who you want people to think you are. The designer label that says I'm successful, the luxury watch that says I've made it, the car that says respect me. the house in the right neighborhood that says, I belong here. None of these purchases are about the product. They are about the story the product tells. And the question you have to ask yourself is, am I building wealth or am I building an image? Because those two things require very different budgets. And most people go broke funding the image while neglecting the foundation. Let me say that again because it matters. Most people go broke funding the image while neglecting the foundation. That's identity spending. And it's the silent destroyer of family wealth. Now, before anyone watching feels guilty tonight, I want to say something important. Emotional spending is normal. Every single person does it. I've done it. You've done it. The wealthiest people in the world have done it. We are emotional beings living in a world designed to trigger spending. Every ad you see is engineered to make you feel something. Every notification is timed to catch you when you are vulnerable. Every store layout is designed to move you toward the checkout. You are not weak for falling into these patterns. You are human. The problem is not emotion. Emotion is part of life. The problem is lack of awareness. When you don't see the trigger, you can't interrupt the pattern. When you don't understand why you are spending, you can't make a different choice. You just react over and over and over. Earn, feel, spend, regret, repeat. But when you become aware, something shifts. You start to see the moment before the purchase. You start to recognize, okay, I'm not buying this because I need it. I'm buying this because I'm stressed or tired or trying to keep up. And in that moment of recognition, you have a choice. For the first time, you actually have a choice. That's the power of awareness. It doesn't eliminate emotion, it creates space between emotion and action. And in that space, that's where discipline lives. That's where better decisions are made. That's where wealth gets built. You don't need to become emotionless with money, and we can't. You need to become aware. Awareness doesn't mean you never spend on wants. It means when you do, it's a conscious choice, not an automatic reaction. And conscious choices repeated over months and years, that's what builds a completely different financial life. So let me give you something practical tonight, something you can use starting tomorrow morning. Not a system, not an app, just one question. Before making any purchase, ask yourself, is this a financial decision or an emotional decision? That's it. One question. Is this a financial decision or an emotional decision? If it's a financial decision, meaning you genuinely need it, it serves your family, it fits your allocation, buy it with confidence, no guilt. If it's an emotional decision, meaning you are stressed, bored, or comparing or rewarding yourself, pause. Not forever, just pause. Wait 24 hours. If you still want it tomorrow with a clear mind, maybe it's real. If you have forgotten about it by morning, you just saved your family lots of money. And more importantly, you just broke a pattern. One question: financial decision or emotional decision? That single question asked consistently will change your relationship with money more than any budget ever could, because it doesn't restrict you, it reveals you. It shows you who you are with money. And once you see yourself clearly, you naturally start making better choices. Not because someone told you to, because you chose to. And choices rooted in awareness last forever. Rules imposed from outside break in a week. So here is a practice tonight and tomorrow. Watch yourself, not with judgment, with curiosity. Every time you reach for your wallet, your phone, your card, ask the question: financial decision or emotional decision? You might be surprised how many times the answer is emotional. And that's okay, because now you see it. And once you see it, it starts to lose its power over you. Tomorrow, we are going to take this even further. We are going to talk about where your money actually goes, not where you think it goes, where it actually goes. Because the gap between those two things, that's where most families lose their wealth without even knowing it. If you are serious about building stronger financial awareness, if you want to understand your own patterns and break the ones that are not serving you or your family, join these conversations regularly. Small shifts in thinking creates massive long-term results. So type 30 days in the comments if you are committed. I go live here every day at 9:08 p.m. Central Time. Show up tomorrow. We don't chase money here. We build structure. Discipline builds generational strength. See you tomorrow.